Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. This is my way overdue first makeup tutorial for y'all. I was asked a lot about the silver glitter I wore on a live stream the other day, so I wanted to show you an actual tutorial for that. So first I want to start by saying I have a base on, and yes, my skin is not perfect right now, but we're going to get started anyway. Fluffy. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start by putting some finishing powder on just to seal the foundation that I've already put on. If you're curious what I used the KatVonD Lock-It foundation, and that is definitely my favorites, and I wear the shade Light 42 Neutral, which is almost the lightest you can get because that's what my skin usually does. So now I'm going to just add some finishing powder. This is also the KatVonD Lock-It finishing powder. I like her stuff a lot because she doesn't test on animals and it's really good products, and she has a lot of like darker, scarier looking stuff too, so definitely one of my favorites. Okay, so the first thing I want to start by doing is putting primer on. I actually like using the NYX Pigment Primer, which this is usually just for their glitters and stuff, but I really like using it in general, so I'm going to apply that. You can use any primer you really like. I know a lot of people use a lot of different primers. I personally like this one, but I don't know that it's better than any other one. Just what I use. Okay, so I'm going to start by going into the Fetish Palette by KatVonD. You guys have probably seen this one before because it has so many colors in it. One of my few purchases from Sephora this year. And I'm going to take a brush. We'll find out what brush it is eventually. I actually like starting with my fingers usually, but I'm just going to start with this kind of brush. These don't really have names on them. I kind of just got a huge set from Amazon for the brushes. I'm not super professional. I just really like doing different styles and stuff and seeing what I can do. So I'm going to start with a neutral color, and this one is called Safe Word on this palette, but it's just like a peachy pink color that you can really get anywhere. And I'm just going to start by putting that down, and I'm patting it. I'm not really blending or rubbing it as of now. So once that is on, which is a little bit darker than a neutral, I wanted to start with a warmer color underneath to kind of warm up the silvers I use a little bit because my hair is warm and my eyes are warm. You can kind of skip that if you don't really want a warm look and you want it totally cool toned, but that's just what I like to do. So then I'm going to go into this color right here, which is called S&M. It's like a darker gray kind of color, and I'm going to apply this with my finger because I like how it looks better. You can use a brush if you want to. I just like doing this before I blend. Okay, so next we're going to be getting into one of my favorite tools, and this is the NYX Glitter Goals Liquid Eyeshadow. I think it's called a liquid eyeshadow or liquid glitter eyeshadow, something like that. If you look, it's like a silver glittery liquid eyeshadow, definitely something I recommend. If you don't have this, you can just reapply the primer. I'm basically using it to stick other glitter to my eye. So I'm gonna put that on. So as you can see, this is sparkly, but not really sparkly enough. Just add some basic glitter in the background there. I am a huge fan of this product, but I do feel like it's drying out just a little bit, and I've only had it for probably a month, so that's kind of weird for me. But it's still a really good product, and I definitely recommend that one. So now I'm gonna reprime over that just to really make sure that the glitter is gonna stick on. You can use any cosmetic silver glitter you like. Mine's in a pressed glitter palette. But I've also used even Claire's before. This is just like my basic silver makeup look. I do this all the time. So when you put the primer on top of another eyeshadow, you're going to want to kind of pat it on so it doesn't rub the other color that you've already put on there off. We're going to close that up, and now I'm going to go into my silver glitter. Mine's in this palette. I actually really like using the darker silver color. You're welcome to use a lighter silver color, or really any glitter if you're changing the shadow that you want, but I wanted to do the darker silver in here. So this is kind of like what they call a gunmetal kind of color, which means it's like a dark gray silvery color. So I'm going to apply that across my whole lid. Now I use my finger when I'm applying glitter because when I use a brush, I find that a lot of the glitter comes off onto the brush or just falls down, and I don't want to waste the glitter. So now that we have that glitter on, we're gonna go under the eye with a couple different shadow techniques so we can make sure that the whole eye looks like I have glitter on it and not just like I threw a little bit of glitter on the bottom. So I'm gonna go back into my Fetish palette and I'm going to go back into S&M with a small brush, really any small brush you can find, just something that you can really get close to your lash line with, but not too close. This is the one I'm gonna be using, and I'm just gonna go right underneath my eye. Now I did put a little bit in the corner here, but I'm gonna probably go over it in a lighter silver in a minute. Okay, now I'm gonna take the lighter silver here, which is called Cuffs, and by the way, once again, if you don't have this palette, feel free to use any eyeshadow you have. I have a lot of random eyeshadows everywhere that I don't really use specific name brands for, so feel free to use whatever. And I'm just gonna apply that lighter silver right in the corner in there, wiping off any part that comes off too far onto my nose, if that makes sense. And now I'm gonna go back with a small brush, once again, take that lighter silver color and just run it under the lash so it meets up with the gray a little bit. This is just to make sure the whole eye looks sparkly and it's not just in that one part. So now it looks like it kind of spread evenly and it goes a little bit darker on the ends, which is what we want. What I like it, you can do what you want. So now I'm going to grab a pencil eyeliner. This is just an e.l.f. pencil eyeliner. I literally got it for $1, so you can use whatever you want. And I'm gonna line my lash line. I tend to go into my waterline a little bit when I'm doing this, but you can put it as close to or as far from your eye as you want. Okay, so now that we have that covered, just to darken up the eye a little bit, we're gonna wanna take a regular eyeliner as soon as I find mine. I like the Epic Ink liner from NYX, and like I said earlier, I like a lot of Kat's products. I had a little bit of trouble with the what's it called? The eyeliner that everyone uses. I liked her ink liner better than her tattoo liner actually, which was disappointing for me because I love everything she does. So that eyeliner didn't really work for me as well, but if you want to try either of those, that works too. Just anything that's a marker and you really have a lot of control with. So I am gonna start with a thin line on my eye. So this next step is optional, but a lot of you guys do ask me about the wing liner I do, so I'm gonna do a little tiny bit of a wing. What I do is I start from this corner and I draw a small line here and connect it at the end. So there's my small line, and there's my connecting line. And then you can draw it out a little bit if you want a little pointier, and that's how I do my wing. And to match it on the other side, I do pretty much the same thing. If you're starting from the exact corner of your eye, it's kind of hard to not match them. And I'm drawing the line to connect. Just evening out here, you want to kind of even out the wing into the rest of your liner if you are doing the wing, because it looks a lot cleaner. Making sure both are the same length on each side. And now we're gonna finish up the face that I didn't really do today. So, what I like to use is this Tartist Pro Glow palette, but use any contour that you usually use. Just, I need something that's a little lighter for me, because I'm so light. So I usually do that, and I like to use this e.l.f. brush that I got. Now this is actually a highlighting brush, but the lady at the store told me to use a highlighting brush for this, and she was right, because it actually works. I'm not a huge fan of actual highlighter because for me, I feel like makeup was created to kind of give you that porcelain look, so I like the classic 1800s no shine kind of look, besides the glitter, obviously. So let's go in with the contour. If you guys haven't done contour before, you're kind of going in right above your ear here and drawing a line and then blending it out. I kind of hold the brush like this when I'm drawing the original line and then blend it out a little bit like this. And for me, I need a good amount of color in my face because I don't really have it naturally. So I like to add a good amount of contour. And then for my nose, I kind of take the contour, make the brush really thin by holding it like this, and draw little thin lines on the sides of my nose and on the tip like that. I blend that out with my finger just to give my nose a little bit of color. And then I go into blush. So for blush, I'm using one from the Sephora palette. I wanted to use a cool tone blush and I don't really have one as an individual. This This one right here is my favorite color, and I'm going to use the same brush I just contoured with to use that with a dot of this pink right here. And in a circular motion but back, I kind of just go on my cheekbone. No weird faces necessary, except for whatever face I've been making. Blow that out on that side as well. Okay, so now that we have the blush on, the contour on, I just like to go one more time with this brush and my finishing powder just to smooth out anything I might have messed up and finish off with an extra matte kind of look. This is an optional step again, but it's definitely something I like to do. So just making sure our finishing powder is on the brush and going all over the whole face. That was my mirror. Okay. Last kind of finishing touch I want to do is lips, and for me I really like a nude kind of lip, but you're welcome to do whatever you want. I'm probably going to go in with Lolita here, which is one of my KatVonD glimmer veils you saw the other day. I have a huge box of them over here, that's why it's taking me a sec. So that is the wrong one. And yes, my leg did fall asleep, which none of you would know, but it's driving me nuts. Okay. Hold up, it's in my purse.
The bottom of my purse?
Okay, so this finishing touch is just gonna be the Lolita lipstick from the Glimmer Veil line by KatVonD, and I'm just gonna put that on my lips. This is just kind of a natural pink color, which is what's so pretty about it. You can use any neutral kind of pink color you have. Okay, and because I want this to kind of be an extra glossy look, I'm going to use the Plump It Up by NYX just to add that on top. Okay guys, so one thing I do want to add to this is mascara before we go. I don't always put this on, which is why I didn't put it on right away. I just use this one right here, which is a Maybelline Mascara. Super basic, you can get this at any local drugstore. And I just apply it like a normal human, with the weird faces and all. I've never seen someone be able to put mascara on without making the face. I don't really know if it's like a thing that's possible. Yep, there's the face. Okay, and now my other eye. Move my bangs out of the way. Probably not a problem most of you have. And I like it underneath. If you don't, that's fine. I know one of my friends thinks it looks like spider webs, but it's up to you. Okay, now we got the lipstick, we got the blush and contour, and the eyes are done. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Oh, let me know what other makeup looks you'd like to see me do. If there's any other glitter colors you want me to do a tutorial for, let me know that too. I know you guys are often interested in different makeup looks than I'd expect you to be, so please let me know what you want to see next. Thank you. Bye.